Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the happy hour. It's Wednesday. Hey, let's get to these plays. Just the three R's here today. Rod, Ron, and Ramon here for you guys, getting you guys some winners here on the happy hours. Let's get the winners flowing. We'll get right to the cappers, see how they're doing today, and then we'll get right to the picks like we always do here at Tony's Picks. How you doing, Ron? How's your
Doing
day
great.
going?
Nice 7-1 last night. We're doing good. And today, not so good. Started out on the pitch pretty bad. 0-2 today. The Italians didn't help me out in the Champions League today. So drop that Atalanta free play I gave you. Appreciate you trying to get that one. But yeah, we'll bounce back tonight.
Heading on over to Ramon. How you doing, Ramon?
Hey, great, Rod. Had a winning night last night here in the NBA and also hit my parlay again here on the show. So maybe I should just give out a bunch of parlays. I hear they're really easy.
But you do, you play them straight. You play them straight. You don't have to sweep them. That's how Sean Higgs does it. You get 2 out of 3, you're good, right?
You round robin them. Round robin them,
and then play the game here at the end of the show, Ron. We got to hit those parlays.
Got to hit the parlay. The three-teamer. It's not the same as you round robin the parlay because then it's not a parlay segment.
There you go.
It is what it is. For me, I went 3 and 4 yesterday. Dropped what was the one that got one? There was one got me, and it was really ugly, and it was like
Illinois.
No. Yeah, actually, it was. I was on the other side of Illinois. I figured it was going to be a little bit closer than that, and they ran them out of the gym.
Yeah,
a couple times Fear was closer, and they've done that as Illinois. But we're on to a new day, so let's get right to it. Let's head to the NBA. Massive slate before we head to the All-Star break. We'll kick it off. We'll do. Let's just do the 7 p.m. ones to kick it off. We have 3 there. We'll do Charlotte heading into Orlando. Orlando up to 12.5 favored in that one now. Total 203. We got the Spurs heading into Boston. Boston favored 8.5 in that one. Total 233.5. And we got the Pacers heading into Washington. Pacers on the back-to-back there. Pacers laying 10. Total 242.5. Have a quick little look at the injury report here. Diabate is the only guy that looks like out for Charlotte. Game time decision. I believe he didn't play last game for them. So I'm going to say that he's out there. Orlando, we're looking at Suggs. Still game time decision. I don't think Suggs is going to be in for that one. Most likely be out. He hasn't been ruled out yet. Ball's out. Yeah. Ball's out for sure. Yeah. And then looking at the Spurs. Spurs, Bassey out for the Spurs. Otherwise, clean injury report there. Definitely some game time decision. Brown, Craig, Holiday out, Tillman out, Watson out for the Celtics. And looking at the Pacers, Walker out, Turner out. Walker's still a game time decision, but I'm going to say that Walker's out in that one. On the Washington side, Sadiq Bey, Gill, Middleton, Smart. Hang on over to Ron. What do you think of those 3?
Yeah, I'm going to look at the Spurs cover the spread. It's on national TV tonight, and Wemby, they're going to feature that. I don't know if Jaylen Brown is going to play, and you can really tell when he doesn't play, it kind of hurts Boston. But, Boston after covering, you know what they do. It didn't work last time against Miami, but I think it's going to work tonight. We're going to go with the Spurs plus 8.5. I'm not touching the Charlotte game. I got to have Ball in there if I'm going to play them. And on Indiana, everybody beats Washington, right? So I think Indiana smashes them. Give me the Pacers.
Hang on over to Ramon. What do you think of those 3, Ramon?
Well, I will try Charlotte then in this role. I think the number is maybe appropriate, but it has gone up 1.5. So maybe we'll sneak in there with Charlotte in this one, guys. Look, Orlando hasn't been covering the numbers here of late, just 2-8 against the spread in their last 10 overall. And still long-term, Charlotte 26-15 as an underdog this season against the numbers. So I'm just going to say it's just a tad bit too high. Maybe we've started to overrate Orlando a little bit, and I'm going to take the Hornets tonight, sans Ball, and try those dozen points on the road with the Hornets.
And for me, these set of games, I like the Wizards here in the first half against the Pacers. You look at the Pacers in the second half of a back-to-back. they don't fare so well in that first half. They struggle in the first half of games here on the back-to-back, especially on the road. Actually, full game if you look back-to-back. They're 2-4 against this number. Is this Pacer team? And you look back-to-back days on 2-5 against the number. But in the first half on back-to-back games, 1-6 against that number is this Pacers team. So give me the Wizards plus the points you get there in the first half. I'm looking at it's come down a little. It's I see 6.5 in places. You don't get as many as what it was this morning. So still like it. Give me the Wizards plus the points in the first half there in that matchup. And then looking at the Spurs taking on Boston, I think 233 is just too many points. Give me the under in that matchup. Looks like Brown being out. I think if he is out, that's even less scoring for Boston. 233.5. I don't think we get the same type of track meet if everybody was in there healthy. So give me the under 233.5 in that matchup. All right, heading on to we'll do all the 7:30 games, which include Philadelphia heading into Brooklyn. 76ers 3-point favorites in that one. Total 212.5. We got the Hawks heading into New York. New York on the back-to-back laying 8 in that matchup. Total 241. And we got the Cavs heading into Toronto. Raptors on the back-to-back in that one. Cavs laying 13.5, total 237.5. Quick look at the injury report in that one. We're looking at the 76ers side of things. Embiid out, Gordon out, Lowry out. On Brooklyn side of things, Claxton game time decision. Bogdanovic, Clowney, and Cam Thomas still out for the Nets. Looking at the Knicks side of things, Josh Hart most likely will be in there. Anobi, game time decision. I'm going to say he doesn't play. Golick and McBride, game time decision as well for the Knicks. Looks like Trae Young will play in that one. And looking at the Cavs side of things, Strus, game time decision. Jerome, game time decision. Out is Okoro, Thor, and Wade for the Cavs. On the Toronto side of things, there were some question marks this morning, but looks like RJ Barrett's going to be in. Barnes will be in. Out will be Ingram, Portal, and Tucker for the Raptors. There's your injury report. Heading on over to Ron. What do you think of those three, Ron?
Now, give me the Raptors. 16-7-1 as a home underdog this year, covering 63% at home, 17-10 overall. So I'm going to take the Raptors plus all those points against Cleveland. We're nearing the All-Star break. I think everyone wants to get to it, so especially the road teams. Watch out for that tonight. But I am going to go with the Atlanta Hawks. You know how Trey loves playing in the Garden. So give me the Hawks plus 8.5 in that one.
Heading on over to Ramon. What do you think of those three, Ramon?
Well, I'll go with the other game then. Ron did such a nice job with those two, and I'll look to the under in Philadelphia and Brooklyn. I always look to the under right now when it comes to Brooklyn. They've gone under in 9 of their last 10 games. Also 19-27 to the under as an underdog. Also 9 of their last 10 at home under. Meanwhile, Philly, yeah, they trend over, but if you look, they're 29-22 to the over this season, yet 18-13 to the over as an underdog. So as a favorite, they tend to play lower scoring games. I think that fits right in here with the situation with Brooklyn tonight. So I'm going to take under this number, Rod, with Philly and Brooklyn at 212.
For me, heading in these sections, I'm looking at the Raptors, but I like the Raptors in the first half here. You look when the Raptors play in the back-to-back in the first half. They are 6-2 ATS in that first half when they're on the back-to-back. And then when playing a 6-game and 10-night situation for the Raptors in the first half, they're 11-2 ATS in that spot this year. And at home in the first half, playing their 6-game and 10 nights, 5-0 ATS are the Raptors in the first half of these games this season at home. So give me the Raptors and the boatload of points you're going to give me in the first half. I think they come out and give that home crowd something to cheer about early on and often in that game. Tempted to sprinkle on the money line in that first half that they have a lead going into the break. But I'm going to grab the points because you're giving me 8 with the Raptors in that one. Boatload in the first half with the Raptors there. The other one I like in this spot is getting the over. Atlanta and New York. We know not a whole lot of defense going to be played in that matchup. we know New York's definitely been scoring some points offensively, and this Atlanta team, they can score some points offensively. New York definitely can give it up defensively as well. That total's risen up. I like the easily cruising into the 240s. Give me the over 241, Atlanta and New York. Heading on into the next slate of NBA, we'll do all the 8 o'clock games here, which is Detroit heading into Chicago. Pistons favored by 6 in that one, total 236.5. We got Sacramento heading into New Orleans. Kings favored by 6 in that one, total 239. We've got the Bucks on the back-to-back now laying 8. Timberwolves -8, total 222 in that matchup. We got the Heat heading into OKC up to 14 now. OKC favored in that matchup, total 223. Quickly look at the injury report. I know Tyler Hero was on there. Game time decision. Robinson, game time decision. Jaquez, Rozier, definitely laundry list of game time decision for the Heat. On the OKC side, Chet Holmgren out, Dieng out. Looking at the Bucks side of things, Lillard game time decision there. We know Giannis is out till well after the All-Star break there. On the Timberwolves side of things, Connolly and Edwards game time decision there in that matchup. On the Detroit side of things, still Ivy we knew was out. So Detroit's still rolling healthy. On the Bulls side of things, Vukovic was a game time decision, but he's most likely to play. Lonzo Ball, game time decision, but unlikely to play in that one. Sanogo is still a no-go in that one. And then looking at the Kings clean injury report, really healthy in that one. Pelicans, Zion game time decision. Boston and Kane out, and Olynyk still out for the Pelicans. Heading on into those three, what do you think, Ron?
Yeah, my best bet last night, Detroit and Chicago. I think Detroit does it again. I think Chicago's really sold the farm. They're getting rid of everybody, and I think they're just packing it in for the year. I don't know what the GM is thinking in Chicago, because just getting rid of everybody it's a horrible situation for the Bulls. I think Detroit smashes them once again. Laying 8 points with Minnesota at home, nope, not going to do it. I know it's probably not a good spot for Milwaukee either, but I'm still going to look at the Bucks. And my rule of thumb, Sacramento is a favorite. I'm going to fade them every time. So I'm taking New Orleans.
Heading on over to Ramon. What do you think of those four, Ramon?
I was going to take Detroit minus 50 points like Ron just did. After what was the score? 74 to 21. I don't know.
At halftime, it was like 76-21.
I thought they were playing Chicago State there for a second. Okay, since Ron did a good job on that one, I'm going to move to Miami and Oklahoma City. I'm going to go under here in this one with the Heat and the Thunder. Houston right now, they're definitely showing some. I'm sorry, Miami and Oklahoma City. That's what I said, right? Yeah. Miami going under here for their last 5 games coming into this one. This number has actually moved up a little bit to 222.5, and that gives me the cushion that I'm looking for here with these two teams. Miami here right now, look, they're starting to get it. I think they'll be fine, guys, moving away from Butler. Maybe they didn't get the right return for JB, but I'm going to end up here on the under in this game. Oklahoma City obviously playing out of their mind at this point. And they're going over a little bit, but I'm going to say against Miami tonight, it hunkers down a little bit. I'm really playing on that move, 4-point move to 222. So I'm going under in this one.
And you know what? I agree with you with the under in that one. You look at the first game of the season, and it was a lot closer than people thought, and it wasn't under. Not a high-scoring track meet in that one. And especially with the news with Hero most likely not playing here for the Heat as well. Yeah, and it went up to 223 now, Ramon. So you get an even better number. So it's that Heat numbers on the rise. I wouldn't rush to bet it yet. Watch to see if it's actually levels off at 223 or if it ticks up again, and you get another half a point in that one before we get in on the under. And then this Bulls team definitely looks like they've checked out. Only one way to go is to grab the Pistons, lay the 6.5. Maybe if you want to find an extendo, I think they easily will cruise to a double-digit win in that one versus the Bulls. The sharp screen is sharp because they think that the Bulls are going to bounce back in that spot after getting whooped. I just don't see it. So Give me the Pistons in that one. They're healthy and rolling, so continue to roll with the Pistons. All right, let's head on to the next slate of games. We got we'll do the rest, the 5 on the block. We got the Suns heading into Phoenix. Suns on the back-to-back. Houston laying 9 in that one now. Total 220. We got Portland heading into Denver. Denver laying 10.5 in that matchup. Total 232.5. We got the Warriors heading into Dallas. I did see some 7s this morning. That's come down a little bit to the Warriors favored by 6.5. Total 233.5 there in that matchup. We got the Lakers heading into Utah. Lakers favored by 9 in that matchup. And then we got Memphis on the back-to-back facing the Clippers. Clippers now up to 5.5 in that matchup. Total 235.5. Quick look at the injury report. See who's in and who's out. We're looking at the Lakers. It was looking like Luka was going to be questionable for the Lakers. Well, it looks like he's going to be in there for the Lakers in that one. For the Lakers, looks like Finney Smith out, Clever out, Reddish out, Vincent out. Everybody else looks like they're good to go for the Lakers. On the Jazz side, KJ Martin and Sexton out. Looking at Denver, still looking. Looks like Jamal Murray is going to play. Porter and Gordon are game time decisions there in that one. Is the Portland side of things. Definitely Grant, game time decision. Murray, game time decision. R. Williams, game time decision there. Scoot Henderson out. Ayton out for Portland. So definitely a lot of question marks on the Portland side of things. Looking at the Suns. Micic, game time decision there. Allen and Beal, Booker, Martin, all out for the Suns there in that matchup. For the Houston side, Sengun, game time decision. Smith, Van Fleet, and Zeller out for the Rockets. Heading on over to Ron with those 5. What do you think?
Yeah, looking at looks like Luka is probably going to play tonight, but someone out of shape going into the elevation, that's going to be limiting his minutes tonight. But I'm going to look at man, the Lakers had 2 blocks last game. That was it, and they're going to have to fix that. I know they signed Alex Len, but they're going to have to fix that because it's just going to be back and forth, up and down. The Lakers are going to have to run now because they have no rim protection. We took the over the other night. I'm going back to it, Rod. I'm going back to the over in this one. And Portland, I guess are they homesick? Because, man, they were killing it at home, and they got out on the road. It's like, please send us home. Send us home. We want to go home. I think Denver smashes them once again. And Memphis and the Clippers, I love the Grizzlies, but I think that this is a bad spot for them coming off that win at Phoenix. You got the Clippers with rest, and Clippers are 19-9 as home favorites. So I'm going to take the Clippers minus a short number there.
And for me, I'm going to go through this quick, and then I got to check out. I got to get the wife to work, and then I'll check back in about 15 minutes.
We got you.
Give me 1 second. I'm going to go whip through this this NBA here, the ones that I like, and then we'll head it on over to Ramon, and then I'll pop out.
I'll take it over for college. No problem.
And then you'll take it over for college.
And we'll talk about hockey while you're gone.
Definitely, you talk about
hockey. You gotta leave us Rod, if you miss leaving us with a pick tonight in hockey.
I got one.
No, don't worry. We got you covered in hockey. I'll be back.
We got you covered.
So, looking at these ones, I like Houston here in the spot. I don't trust the Suns in the back-to-back, and it looks like the Suns have checked out all those guys sitting. There's a good spot for the Rockets. Even if Sengun doesn't play here in this one, I got the Rockets by 10+, lay the 9 there in that matchup. And then we didn't go over the injury reports with Dallas. And you look at Dallas, they got some question marks. PJ Washington questionable, Exum questionable. We know Davis is out, Gafford out, Lively out, Martin out, Powell out. So big question mark for Dallas on that side. Only one way to go for me there is I'd have to lean the Warriors, lay the 6.5. I think they run Dallas out of their own gym in that one. And then give me the over in Memphis and the Clippers. Surprisingly, you figure you might see some defense there, but we know it's the Memphis hustle. They love to play run and gun. Give me the over 235.5 there. And the Lakers in Utah, same thing. Just run it back again. Take the over, as Ron alluded to. All the guys back in for the Lakers. I think we get a higher scoring one. So I'll be back at the back end of things. Ron will take over. I'm going to check out, and then somebody else that you see might have some NBA plays for you.
Can you bring him in before you leave?
I'm going to do it right now. We're going to bring Mills in, and he'll let you know what he thinks in the NBA right now. Here we go.
Sure.
Hi, Mills. How's it going?
There
Nice
he
to
is.
see
Hey,
you.
what's going
Welcome.
on, man? Welcome to the happy hour, where all we care about is having fun and getting $1.
Right on.
Exactly. Glad to have you. Glad to have you. Definitely good to see you, buddy. I'm sure I can't stay long. I'll be back. But
We'll see you in a bit.
so
Yeah.
we'll see you in a bit.
What's up, Mills? You got some props for us, baby?
Yeah, man. I only got about 3 minutes of time, but in those
Go
3
ahead.
minutes, though, man, I might definitely drop you guys some gems. So let's go ahead and get it started with the prop shop, man. Denver Nuggets, they've been playing okay this season, but the guy that I got my eye on is Christian Braun. His point prop's at 16.5, and it seems like these last couple of games he's just been going over and cashing. I gave him out earlier on to start off the year. It was at 11.5 points. Month by month they raise it. Just 2 nights ago, it was at 15.5 points, so it's like now they're kind of catching on a little bit. He's that missing player that we thought Michael Porter Jr. was going to be. I like that one a lot. Golden State Warriors, who they taking on? I think they're taking on the Dallas Mavericks. Jimmy Buckets, he's due. Over 19.5, that's where he's been at right now. His point prop, and he's hit that twice. 20 in one, 25 in the next. And when you're playing against a team like the Dallas Mavericks, you definitely going to have that mantra out there. So I like him to go over his point prop in that one. And then just looking at the Sacramento Kings game, CJ money-making McCollum, man. He's a little player out there that just puts up points and nobody kind of accounted for him. He's the guy that I thought that could have got traded to a team and actually helped out a contender out there. I'm surprised he just sat on the Pelicans all this time, okay? And then let's talk about the Phoenix Suns. Playing on a back-to-back. Who they got? They got the Houston Rockets. Give me Jalen Green, man. Them guys going to be on some dead legs out there. I'm taking them over 22.5 points right now. And that one, Kyrie Irving, Uncle Drew, 27.5 points, 60% clip. Look, listen, hear me out. He was at 25.5 points when Luka Doncic was healthy. Now he's out. No Anthony Davis, no Gafford. Only thing you got is Klay Thompson's headband. Give me Kyrie Irving over 27.5 points, hitting at a 60% clip. Taking on the Golden State Warriors, you know what they're going to do out there. Last but not least, these are the 2 betting tools prop shops that they recommended. Actually, I did, but I just said Donovan Mitchell over 5.5 assists hitting at an 80% clip, and Domantas Sabonis over 14.5 rebounds hitting at a 60% clip.
All right, you got it, Mills. Thanks a lot. You got what you got tonight for sale, Tony's Picks?
I got about 3 plays on the board for you guys, 2 in college basketball, 1 in the NBA. So yeah, definitely you guys want to get in tune with that. Besides that, gonna be looking at the UFC card that's going on this week. Gonna put together a 3-pack. Got to just do some more tape study on that. But appreciate everybody out there, man. Make sure you guys hit the like, hit the subscribe in the chat. I mean, we do this all the time, 24/7, 365.
Yes, sir. Yeah, and check out UFC with Mills. He's our guy there. So thanks a lot, Mills, and we will talk to you soon.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Millsy.
All right, heading on to college basketball. You ready there, Ramon?
Yeah,
college
sure.
basketball. Let's
Good job
go.
by Mills. Ron, only if we could be so smooth and get all of our picks out without flubbing up the script and making a perfect video like our man Mills.
That's right. We got to do that, man. So the late game's 9 o'clock. I think the last game on the slate tonight. So let's get all these early ones out of the way. Let's go. Actually, let's go up to the 8 o'clock hour. So actually, let's go up to 7:30. Everything before 7:30 Eastern. We'll do that. Starting with Colgate and Holy Cross. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm going to take a look here and go all the way down to the matchup here with Tulsa and Temple. Ron, look, these guys usually play an under game. I don't see that happening this time. I think Temple kind of dictates what's going to happen here tonight in this game. Now, they are going to have to lay a little bit of a number here right now. It's 6.5. For the most part, there's some 7s out there. So let's grade it at 7 because I'm going to end up giving out Temple here as my pick in this one. Again, I just think that the usually low score these guys have, you see it right now. I mean, the total is up to 147.5. So I think that tells me what I need to know right here. And I'm going to end up on Temple in this game. Tulsa comes in a 4-game losing streak right now. Temple has lost 2 straight as well, but I'm going to take them here in this one. They usually, like I said, they usually get the best of this series, do the Owls, and the first meeting, or no, this is the first meeting of the season, but I'm going to take Temple here -7 right now. That actually looks like a little bit of a discount.
Yep. I see some 6.5s out there you can get to as well.
All right. Oh, let me give you another one here. I'm going to go to Oklahoma State and TCU. That's a pretty big card, right? So let me go get one more 7 o'clocker in here with Oklahoma State and TCU. I think for the most part, these two teams have been unders so far this season, and with TCU favored here. This series is usually an over, but I'm not seeing it that way tonight. Usually these TCU games in conference at home when they're favored are usually more like 130, 135-ish. So I'm going to end up going here on the under with Oklahoma State and TCU. So give me those two plays.
All right. For me, I'm going to look at the big one, St. John's and Villanova. St. John's lost to UConn. I think they bounce back or beaten UConn, excuse me. I think they come back here and take care of business. I really don't understand how a lot of people on Villanova. I just see a complete coaching mismatch and better offense, better defense for St. John's. Almost said the Redmen. Sorry about that. So get St. John's in that one. I'm looking at Iowa and Rutgers. I don't trust Iowa. I don't care if they're at home or on the road. And I know everybody's like, well, Rutgers isn't the same at the rack this year. Well, it's the Jersey Mike's place, and I think they take care of business. Better defense here. Definitely. Iowa's allowing 48% from field goal range on the road. I can't deal with Iowa. So give me Rutgers minus the 5.5 in that one. And moving on, I'm going to look at Louisville. I think Louisville, this is just a mismatch here. NC State was a great team getting to the Final Four last year and everything, but that is not the same team. And Louisville is really good. Actually, I see this as 6.5. I got it by like 16. So I'm going to go with Louisville in that one. I'm staying away from Ole Miss because they have screwed me so much this year. I would lean that way, but I'm not going to touch that one as well. I agree with you on Temple, though. Definitely. I think Temple's the side in that one. Moving on right before the 7:30. I like VCU. I think VCU is a great spot for the smash. It's 8.5 on the road at George Washington. But I think that VCU with their defense, and I think they'll just hammer down on that one. Don't understand why Georgia Tech is even favored. I like Stanford a lot. Better offense, better defense. Georgia Tech cannot even shoot a free throw to save their lives. So I'm going to go with the Stanford Cardinal in that one. Moving up to the 7:30 games, Ramon. Let's start Chattanooga Samford. Looks like minus 4.5. Total 155.5. UTSA at Wichita State minus 7.5. 152.5. Presbyterian and Charleston Southern looking at minus 1.5 and 138.5. And then we'll move into the 8 o'clock games on the next sets. What you got on the 7:30 spot? Anything?
Yeah, no, I'll take one here with the game between, you mentioned it first, Chattanooga and Samford. So I'm going to look to the total here in this one with Chattanooga and Samford. So far this season, Samford is a dead solid under, one of the worst under team, best under, whatever you want to call it. They've gone under in 9 of their last 10 overall. They're also 8-12 to the under as a favorite here. So right now this number is pretty high. It's expected to be a relatively high scoring game, but I think it's just a little bit too high for me here. And I'm going to end up taking the under in this one. Right now it's at 156, maybe 155.5 for the most part, but give me the under with Chattanooga and Samford.
I like it. I like it a lot. I'm going to look at Wichita State here. I know they're at home. That line really doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I think UTSA is probably the better offensive team, but defensively, I think Wichita State takes care of business. So let's lay it with Wichita State in that section. Let's go on to the 8 o'clock, so Ramon. We got Evansville at Mizzou State. Used to be Southwest Missouri State, but yeah, now the Missouri State. Minus 3.5 or Missouri State, 132.5. Big one, Xavier and Providence here, minus 2.5 for Xavier. We're looking at 146.5. Washington, Ohio State. Yeah, the Buckeyes are back home. They've been doing really well lately, but looking at minus 10.5, big line 144.5. Southern Miss, Arkansas State, Red Wolves over there in Little Rock. Jonesboro, minus 15.5, 153.5. Troy in Louisiana, minus 9.5, 135.5, and then we'll go into the 9 o'clock. Go ahead. Anything in the 8:30 range?
Yeah, I'm going to go here to first game you mentioned, Evansville and Missouri State. And this one, look, this has usually been a Missouri State series, or I guess it was Southwest Missouri State back in the day, but 6 of the last 7 have been won by Missouri State over Evansville, but I don't see it that way in this one. I think Evansville might be alive to win this one straight up. Missouri State's just 2-5 against the spread as a favorite this season, and just 3-6-1 against the spread in their last 10. Evansville hasn't been a great cover team this year, but they have flattened out a little bit, covering 5 of their last 10 games overall. They're coming in off a 2-game losing streak, but so is Missouri State. So I'm going to grab these points here with Evansville tonight on the road. They are getting just a handful of points here right now. Current line is sitting at 4 for the most part. There's some 3.5. Looks like 4 mostly.
Yeah. Missouri State. I was recruited actually out of Kansas City to play baseball at Southwest, but I joined the Navy instead. So hey, anchors away, right? But yeah, I like Evansville as well in that one, and I'm going to take Xavier. I know a lot of people like Providence at home, but I think Xavier is going to get this one. I'm going to lay the 2.5 with Xavier in that one. Let's go to the 9 p.m. Eastern, and we have Oklahoma at Mizzou, and minus 9.5 for Missouri, 151.5. Cal and Duke coming out that loss, minus 23.5, 143.5. Drake back to the Mizzou Valley. Drake and Illinois State. Drake minus 1.5, 125.5. Notre Dame and Boston College. Yeah, minus 4.5 for Notre Dame, 137.5. LSU, Arkansas, back to the SEC. Arkansas laying 9.5, 145.5. Arizona State at Texas Tech. Texas Tech, 15.5, 144.5. And finally, we have Wyoming and New Mexico in the Mountain West. New Mexico is laying 15.5 at the Pit and 142.5. Shout out Wine Time Sports in the chat. How you doing, buddy?
Hi, Wine Time. Yeah,
what you got there, Aaron?
Yeah, let me go to Notre Dame and Boston College tonight. Hanging out with the Catholics here tonight. Look, these Boston College games, I would think at home, you see right now at 130 up to 138. I'm going to end up going over this number. It is bumped up here a little bit right now. Boston College is very, very solid to the over right now at home, 8-2 to the over in their last 10, 9-6 to the over as a favorite right now. And like I said, these conference home games right now for Boston College seem to be well reaching into the 140s right now. The Louisville game went to 142 and they lost that game, remember. They also had a game 151 at home here against Florida State of late. And I think the way Notre Dame is going right now, there's lower scoring here, but I think it's going to dictate into the pace of Boston College here in this one. I mean, both these teams are sub 500 teams right now. Notre Dame's usually pretty good as a favorite, so I would expect them to get there. So I'm going to go over 138 with Notre Dame and Boston College.
Yep, I'm going to look at that game as well, Ramon. I got a video on LSU, Arkansas. You can check that out on Tony's picks. But Notre Dame, number 1 shooting threes in the ACC. And guess who's giving up the 3? BC. I'm going to take Notre Dame and hold my nose. I'm going to take the
bottom of the whole country.
Exactly. I'm going to take Notre Dame in that one, laying those points. And I got my spreadsheet play of the day. Missouri Tigers, Oklahoma Sooners. I'm taking Oklahoma. I like Missouri as a road dog, and I like them as a short favorite at home. But I think there's way too many points for the Missouri Tigers in Columbia tonight. So give me the Oklahoma Sooners plus the points in that one. And I'm going to look at Texas Tech and Arizona State. Arizona State disappointed me their last outing. I think it's too many points. I know Texas Tech really rocks people at home in Lubbock, but I think it's just too many points. So I'm going to take Arizona State plus the 15.5. All right, we're done with college basketball. Now we can move on and let's talk about the Four Nations tournament. Obviously, we know that Canada and Sweden's playing tonight. Looks like Gusfin's going to start net from the Minnesota Wild for the Swede team. And looks like Bennington's been confirmed from the Blues for Team Canada. I did notice McKinnon's going to be in the center, and they're moving Crosby out to the wing. Is that true?
I don't know if I've heard anything myself about the lineup changes, but I'm definitely into this game. For me, I look at it, Ron. Look at the move on the total here, and I'm going to try to be philosophical about the tournament coming up. Look, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's a great concept. I know a lot of people are kind of this might actually be a better alternative, even though I kind of kidded around last night and said bring back the Campbell and the Wales. What I'm saying about this tournament is, there's Rod, so he can elaborate maybe a little bit better. But
we got a Norris division matchup with St. Louis and the Dallas or the Minnesota North Stars.
Sticking this one, Rod, in the middle of the season like this. Look, I appreciate it. It's an international tournament. I don't know if I can take it too seriously with 10-minute overtimes if we get that far in the elimination or in the championship stage, but I don't know. It feels like you just have to let up a little bit, knowing you have a half of the regular season to go. I know there's going to be a lot of pride there, but I would say as compared to a world championship competition, I think players will dial it back a little bit, and maybe that will lead. This is, after all, in the All-Star break. We know what those type of games are about, even though we played the old games between divisions in the last couple of years and whatnot. We know the All-Star games in general are always high-scoring. I don't think that's necessarily going to be the case here, like 8-7 or anything, but the move came in on the over. It's juiced to the over now at 6. I'm going to go over, I think, Rod, tonight, unless you can tell me these guys are really going to be fired up and going hard.
Yeah.
For me, look at it. Who's the goalie that is going to be Mr. Confident? The reason why you're going with Bennington there in the start is because he's been here, done that for Team Canada, and he's Mr. Cocky. We know Jordan Bennington is Mr. Cocky. He's all like, I'm the man, and he can step up in the spot. How many shots is he really going to face here in this one? I think Canada can dictate the pace to whatever play they want to play. If they want to score a high-scoring game, I think they can pop 8 on this Sweden team, because I just don't think that Sweden has the firepower enough to be able to keep up. But how do you keep up with the likes of Sidney Crosby, Connor McDavid, Nathan McKinnon, Brad Marchand, Sam Reinhart, Mitch Marner, Braden Point, Mark Stone, Sam Bennett? The list goes on and on of guys. It's not just one line that you got to deal with. It's the second line. It's the third line. The Canadians are going to keep coming at you in wave after wave after wave. Sweden's in trouble tonight. I'm going to take Team Canada minus the what's the line on this one?
That was like 205 or something. Yeah.
Minus 1.5. I think easily they cruise to a 2-goal win. I'm thinking like 5-2. That's probably why it got juiced. I think you maybe need an empty netter to get over the total in this one. But the way that they fixed these thingies 4-2, would it surprise you? No. So I would lean to Canada on the puck line in this one.
I'm with you. I'm gonna take Canada in regulation, but I got it about 4-2. The Sweden team and the Finland team, to even compete, they're gonna have to play that blue line defense, and they're gonna pick them up. I mean, they're gonna have to, because there's no way, like you said, Rod, they don't have the firepower that the U.S. or Canada has. So and Gusfin's actually not been playing very well for Minnesota lately, if you look at it too. So Bennington's been the better goalkeeper in my mind. I would just look at the better goalies in all of these games, and then go.
You look at it's who was it? Sweden's other star is Allmark, and he just came back from injury. How much do they want to throw him out there? The other option is Urson. for Sweden from Philadelphia. So
yeah, Philadelphia.
But can Gustafsson steal a win? Definitely. Gustafsson could steal a win and hold down this team Canadian scoring wise.
Yeah,
it's I don't know.
Exhibition. You're not going to be putting your teammate into the boards for sure because you don't want to hurt your teammates. So
anytime any of these guys, there's some pride here as well. I know I bashed the whole thing, and I'm not a fan of what's going on here. I wish everybody could play in this 4 nations, and it wasn't actually just 4 nations because we know there's a lot more than 4 nations in hockey.
Absolutely. Russians should be in there as well.
There should be a bunch of teams that nations that play hockey. Where's the Czechs? The Czechs, Czechia. You got to have those guys in there. So it should be a lot more than the 4 nations. I like the concept. For the first to kick it off, I get it. All these guys are going to have some motivation to play well. Why? Because you're donning your country's colors. And that's an honor to put on that country's uniform. You as a Canadian, it's an honor to get chosen to go represent Team Canada. On the U.S. team, same thing. You get picked to chosen. They're excited to play. Of course, look who's on the other side of Team USA. It looks like the Chuck's on the other side. He's like nothing like
Brady,
stuffing up McDavid. He loves to stuff up McDavid. So it's one of these things. We're going to be some little battles. We might see some skirmishes. But hard-hitting slobber knocker hockey is not what we're going to see here. You're going to see an exhibition of goal-scoring prowess. It's going to, on the talent that you get in the NHL, is going to be here.
Yeah, Russians can't stop starting wars. That's why they're not in there. They can't quit drugs. That's a good
statement. Now, though.
Not you, right?
But anyway, Rod, we were done with college basketball. We're ready for rate cap and parlays.
Well, Rod's got some hoop or something, but
getting
late.
Here, let me whoop through the college section real quick. I'll go through it all. Just a couple I'll pick out here. What I'm looking at here, I'm 2 teams going this way, in opposite direction. Is Southern Illinois and the Salukis heading into Bradley to take on Bradley. Hey, Bradley off to a hot start this season, right? Playing great. Looking well, not over the last few games. They did get right over Evansville, but they did get a win and cover in that one. But they had lost 3 straight before that, losing to UIC, losing to Uni, losing to Belmont. Well, this Salukis team has been slowly starting to put things together. And an 8.5 where I find it, I like the Salukis there to come into Bradley and keep this a lot closer than the 8.5 there. I don't think Bradley runs them out of the gym. They did meet once earlier this season, and it was an 83-60 win. We're going to get a lot closer game than that here in that one. Give me the Salukis plus the 8.5 in that matchup. And then one of these later games, I'm looking at the later game here. I'm with you on Oklahoma. Give me Oklahoma plus the 9.5. Mizzou laying 9.5? Ew, that's just way too many wins. Tigers win that game by about 5 or 6. So take Oklahoma plus the 9.5 in that matchup. And then I still like it. LSU. It wasn't. I seen a 10 pop up there for like split second, and then it just quickly disappeared. It wasn't up there for long. And now we're sitting at 9.5. So give me LSU plus the 9.5 in that one. So sprinkle on the upset money line win there for LSU. And as you guys have said, that wraps up today's slate. So we're in the parlay peripherals, player prop, maybe game in the future that the capper likes. And then they'll let us know what they got going on over at Tony's Picks, because that's where our best bets are, the bets that we're making tonight. So heading on over to Ron. What do you got tonight, Ron?
Yeah, first of all, I got my full court press. That's a 3 NBA pack right there. I got a couple college basketball for you as well. For my parlay, we're going to look in college basketball. I'm going to take St. John's. I'm going to take VCU, and I'm going to go with Oklahoma.
And heading on over to Ramon. What do you got for us, Ramon?
Hey, pressure's on. I mean, I got to hit
Pressure's on. Going for
got to hit another part
Come on.
after yesterday. So let's get it started here at the top of the hour. Waste no time in hitting a parlay. I'm going to take the discount with East Tennessee State. They've turned it around quickly all of a sudden here with 3 straight wins and a couple of covers right now. They get a discount here down to 9.5 in their matchup with Western Carolina. Let's start off with East Tennessee State. Next up, Bonaventure and Rhode Island. I'm going to go under here. Not getting the best value here, but you can look back and see there are plenty of Bonaventure games here. We know how good they are at covering, but there's a lot of Bonaventure games that aren't getting quite to 140 points here. So I'm going to go under there. And finally, I'm going to go over with Wofford and Citadel here with my final pick for the parlay. So East Tennessee State, Bonaventure, Rhode Island under, and Wofford and Citadel over. If you want more picks from me, my best picks, my premium picks, or over at Tony'sPicks.com. I've got a package in NBA and college basketball. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout to save 15% off those premium pick packages from me or any of the cappers. Why not team me up with Ron or Rod or Ramon and get 2 of the 3 R's in there over at Tony'sPicks.com. Parlay!
Definitely. And for me, over Tony's Picks, I've got my NBA drop a dime play. Dropped it yesterday. Looking to bounce back from it. So definitely scoop that up. And then I got my 10-star college basketball slam dunk play of the day. Love it. Solely on the college basketball slate. But then I've got some more, couple NBA and a couple more college basketball. I believe I got a 7-pack up there that gets you covered on everything I got going today. 7 plays in all. You can scoop up that 7-pack, or best way to go is long term. In case we find something late, because there's a little few games on the late night slate that we might slide in there, late steam type play, and you'll get that emailed to you when you're a long-term subscriber here at Tony's Picks. That's the best way to go here at Tony's Picks is long-term to get those plays emailed to you. And don't forget Tony T at checkout, save 15% off your purchases. And hey, 2-for-1 capper promotions, can't go wrong with that. Pair me up with any one of the other hot cappers you see here at Tony's Picks. And have 2 cappers putting money in your pocket. Always better than 1. And my parlay, we're going to take LSU plus the points. We're going to take the Salukis plus the points. And we're going to take the Raptors plus the points in the first half. Little 3-teamer for you in the college basketball slate tonight. Let's get it.
Hey, Morant's been downgraded to game time decision.
Let's have a quick little look. I'm going to hit a little refresh and see. Yep. Morant, game time decision there in that matchup. Williams as well, game time decision in that matchup. Dallas, still same thing. Exum. PJ Washington, still questionable there. Denver side of things, Porter and Gordon, still questionable for the Nuggets. Sengun, still questionable for the Rockets. Conley and Edwards, still questionable for Minnesota. Hero and Robinson, still questionable for the Heat. Claxton still questionable for Brooklyn. Maxi's now hit the report for 76ers.
That doesn't look good.
That doesn't look for the 76ers. No. Game time decision there, Tyrese Maxey. I'm going to say if he's hitting that report, he's most likely not going to play for the 76ers in that one. 3.5 still for the 76ers in that matchup. Walker still game time decision there for the Pacers. News-wise, they're Hawks. They're all ready to go in that one. Anunoby still questionable. Galik McBride still questionable there. And that was the biggest change right there was Tyrese Maxey hitting the injury report game time decision for the 76ers. Big one there.
It's like Conley and Edwards are still game time decisions along with Hero. So, Yep.
Well, that wraps it up for today's slate of games. I wish we could be right there, right to the end, but the NBA always that last minute. We try to get to everybody. We got as close as we could. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Have yourself a wonderful Wednesday, and don't forget tune in tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern. We'll get it going again tomorrow with the morning show. Same cast of characters you see here. Usually tune into the morning show, so definitely tune in there. Any last words before we head out?
No, good luck, everybody. Get it tonight.
Good luck, everybody. Crush it. Have yourself a good day.